I'm gonna go get the rest of the BRB.
Catching some ducks.
Hey, can we grab me a calendar too?
I like them. I like the color of the ducks. I must be the ugly duck. I get all the marshmallows. That's the old supplements and that's perfect. It's like for, I was using it a lot when I was doing the sparkling juice and that's better grits.
Yeah, sure. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? Good. Oh, thank you, Corey.
Hey.
Up here. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, thanks for the treats. How are you doing? Good. How are you? Good. Anybody got your tickets from your ducks?
Oh my
I
God.
don't know how I never get into ducks. Huh? I don't know how I never get into ducks. I must not ever be here, but if you're having no, you get them with your transaction. What's the transaction? I haven't gotten any. If it's compliant, then you'll get it done. Compliant? Yep. How many have you had, you know? In the last month. How many ducks do you have? Right, your name on the back. And then we go back. Yes, I know.
All my tips. Doesn't matter what one.
Are you lying to me? Right, name on the back. Look at it. I have a rainbow.
I know. Remember last time? I said I haven't gotten any.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I like your sweatshirt.
That one's cute.
Right? Yeah.
This one that I ordered. Anybody else have ducks or need tickets or have tickets? Hi.
She lost all her ducks around in the room.
They just ran away. She wants to keep them. You don't have to lie. I'm not lying. You ain't gonna lie to kick it. And you probably had 3.
Not this month.
The last 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the quarterly. Quarterly done. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just do 3.
Angie's got to go to work.
Ready, on.
Go back.
Well, Angie has 2 on her desk. Austin's gonna go get it. Okay. Okay, good morning. How is everybody?
Howdy.
Good. How are we sounding good? Anybody have my license? Yay! I'm going to see my grandkids tomorrow. Yay! That's exciting.
Had 2 listings this week.
I'm
Showing.
How did your listing
Showing my
appointment?
own listing this week too.
How did your listing appointment go yesterday?
It's good. It house needs a lot of work, but that's okay.
Ivy also got a new car.
A different car.
Aurora.
Her name is Aurora. She is a black Mercedes, 2016. So I went with older, but I love it.
I'm just shocked it's not red.
No, I've let him buy high.
You guys, we have a really busy week. Tomorrow we have social media masterclass. We have a guest speaker, Steve Black. He's coming to help us learn about social media, using AI and social media to get our time back. So who wants more time in their life, right? Everybody should be at this class, and if you haven't RSVP'd me on the Facebook group, then let me know, because I'm printing out the materials for anybody that comes. There's like a little materials thing he has to fill out. It's like a workshop. Social media workshop.
What time is that?
10 to 12, and then, or no, 10 to 11, and then 11 to 11:45 is Ivy Joe's part 3 series of her listings A to Z.
Well, I have to be out here by 11:45 again.
Well, no, you put 11:45 on the calendar.
I didn't.
11 to 12.
I think she just copied it from the last one.
Okay,
Remember when
that's
I picked out
Yep,
her?
yep. Okay, so 10 to 11 is the social media masterclass, and then 11 to 12 is
Perfect.
A to Z, right? So back-to-back classes tomorrow.
That's a RSVP for that.
The social media one, yeah, just text me, just send me a text, because I'm gonna make a list of everybody and then print the materials out before.
Who is Steve Black?
He's, I have a thing downstairs.
Jack Black's cousin.
Oh, yeah. He's famous. If you want to buy a Jack Black poster or t-shirt, I'll be signing.
Jack Black referencing one day.
Yeah, no, we should have put the tribute song on. That was real. Okay, so also tomorrow night is open house prayer night. So I would love to have 5 agents here with me to host prayer night. And if you can bring somebody. Kim and I are going to be opening the doors, putting up full event open house signs, and having fun talking about what it looks like to join our brokerage, what it looks like to be a Keller Williams agent and be in the top brokerage in Snohomish County. Whether they're licensed agents at a different brokerage, they want to do more deals, double their business, whatever that takes. We want to help share our culture with them. And as long as they're great people, I'm not going to use my profanity that I usually say, but as long as they're great people, then they belong here, right? If they're not great people, they don't belong here, right? So when you're out there searching for people, remember what we're like and who you want to work next to. Don't bring me not great people. Because then I have to make the decision, and it's a hard decision to make. Okay. So I'm looking for 5 agents. So if anybody wants to volunteer to come here, it's tomorrow night at 6. So we have the 2 back-to-back classes and then prayer night. So I'll be here all the way through, all day long. It's a power day. Forever. Kim and I, we're on it. Okay. I'm really grateful and excited to share our awards. We do capper boxes. Anybody who caps, which if you don't know what that is, it's
Hitting your company dollar and your royalty within your 1 year.
Yeah, within your anniversary. Roughly on a $700,000 transaction average, it would be 3 deals. If you close 3 deals, it's 500,000. It's 4 deals. So depending on where you fall in that, you will cap, and then you get 100% after that, right? We all want 100%. So anyway, we're celebrating all of our cappers for the last 2 quarters because we had some mishaps in where our employment was and transitions in our front desk. We missed our last quarter one, so we stacked them all up. So we have anybody that capped in 2nd and 3rd quarter.
And
celebration.
I'll just put it out there now. If you don't get called and you think you capped or you know you did, just please let us know. We did our best to go back. We didn't do the ordering, so we did our best to go back and audit, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, right. If you already capped in the 1st quarter, we've already handed you a capper box.
Yes.
So from January till the 1st quarter, whatever. Okay. Will you pass out the red shoe? things, we'll vote for the red shoe too.
She already did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's on it?
Oh,
You're really focused on what you're saying. You didn't even see her walking around.
I'm a ninja. Yeah, I know. All right. I'm just gonna quickly, actually, Amy, do you have a broker minute? You wanna, yeah, chime in for a broker minute and then
I didn't do it.
You probably did. I'm just gonna go a little, if you guys aren't following, Annie Fitzsimmons, the legal hotline question. This was just a good one because it's one I get often, with some of the confusion on the 35 and 35R and responding to inspections and what you can and can't do versus what you can and can't say and how you should do it. So I'm gonna read the question and then we'll read Annie's response. So this broker wrote in, it's a two-part question. She says, I am representing the buyer. We are mutual and the seller did not check any box in paragraph 4 on form 35. Paragraph 4 is the providing of the inspection report. We did our initial inspection with a 2-day contingency, and then we have 5 additional inspection day period for additional inspections. And the inspector recommended that a specialist needs to check the attic out for fungal growth. We notify sellers by checking. Buyer gives notice for additional inspection in the form 35R on the 2nd day. Can my buyer go ahead with the additional inspections if the seller does not respond and does not want to know anything about the inspection? Are we waiving my buyer's contingency at this point if the seller never responds? Question 2 to that is we do additional inspection and the inspector responds that there is fungal growth and it needs remediation along with additional roof vents. We get the quotes from the relevant companies, assuming the seller does not want to know anything about the inspection. How will I proceed with 35R if my buyer wants the seller to repair this before closing? How do we check box number 4 in the 35R requesting repairs without giving any information to the seller? If I have to attach the quote or even write in the form 35R, seller to remediate fungal growth in the attic and place additional ledge vents, that is giving the seller an idea as to what the problem is. And I assume I can't talk to the listing agent about this since that will be giving away information, right? So how would I proceed in this case without risking my buyer's position or waiving the contingency? Okay, so here's Annie's answer to this. With respect to question number 1, there should be no expectation by buyer that seller will respond. Based on the terms of the agreement, mutual acceptance, seller told buyer that seller does not want to receive any portion of the buyer's inspection report. Buyer properly triggered the additional time by delivering nothing more than the form 35R. So 35R, when you're requesting additional time, is nothing more than a notice. It doesn't require the seller to respond. You give your notice and then just move forward with your additional inspections. It was pre-agreed to when you guys signed the form 35. Buyer properly triggered the additional time by delivering nothing more than 35R. Properly marked for additional inspections. Buyer should immediately proceed to conduct additional inspections without waiting for further communication from the seller. Seller has no requirement to communicate with buyer at this point. Continued, with respect to question 2, broker has grossly overstated the limitations created by the form 35 inspection contingency. The contingency addendum prohibits buyer from delivering any portion of the buyer's inspection report to the seller. That's it. It does not prohibit the buyer from delivering the form 35R to seller, identifying the concessions of the buyer seeks. If buyer wants seller to make repairs that are described on a bid from a contractor, buyer broker should attach that bid to buyer's form 35R, and on the 35R state that seller shall hire the contractor identified in the attached bid to make all repairs identified in that bid. Nothing in that effort includes delivery of any portion of the buyer's inspection report. A contractor's bid is not the buyer's inspection report. Form 35R or Form 35 prohibition does not shield seller from learning information about seller's property. It simply prohibits buyer and buyer broker from delivering any portion of buyer's inspection report to seller and listing broker without seller's consent. I hope that clarifies some of that because I feel like I get that question a lot, that buyers now think that inspections are completely confidential and that they can't discuss anything that's on the inspection report with the other party, the other broker, or even the seller, and that's just simply not true. You just simply cannot provide a copy of the buyer's inspection report to the seller without their written notice first. But that doesn't stop you from picking up the phone and calling a listing broker and saying, we're asking for this and here's why. And or getting additional inspections, getting bids, and the best practice is always to attach the bid. If you can attach the bid and say, sellers to correct this based on the attached bid using this contractor, that's always going to be the easiest and best way to try to solve the problem, rather than leaving it open to who's to do the work and how it's to be done. Any questions on that?
I have one.
Yeah.
On the first one, so it's the timeline for the additional inspections.
Yeah.
So you just respond back about the timeline we need for the additional inspections?
So 5 days is automatically, it's already written in the form 35 that, so let's just say you negotiate and you have a 5-day inspection contingency. Well, if during your initial 5 days, the inspector recommends that you need further evaluation by a licensed contractor, you can send notice on the 35R triggering that 5 days. Once the buyer sends notice, it's simply just a notice, then the additional 5 days starts. You don't need the seller to even respond, just move forward and get your new inspections scheduled. Obviously coordinate with them to do so, but it doesn't require the seller to respond, accept it, or anything in order to trigger that timeline. It just automatically starts. So yeah, just make sure, again, don't provide any copies of the reports. Now you don't even you're not required to provide the recommendation by the inspector. That used to be a requirement, that's no longer required. You simply just send over your notice and trigger those 5 days. And then, yes, you can talk about it. I get brokers all the time that even on my own transactions on the other end that are like, everybody's just so gun shy and nervous, like, well, I don't want to tell you what's going on. I don't want to give you any information. It's like, well, how are we supposed to negotiate through this if you don't talk? So it is okay to talk about the different things going on and to share that information back and forth. Just don't send over actual copies of it. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice. That's good. Thank you, Amy. If you guys want these legal hotlines, question and answer stuff, you can find those on the NAR site. Is that where you find that stuff, or is it in the newsletter that?
So if you're current on your dues, you'll get an email every Wednesday and Friday from the Washington Realtors, and you'll have the legal hotline questions are going to be on those. And if you're not current, you can go to the Board of Realtors office or website or whatever. And there's actually, we have access to Amy Fitzsimmons as our legal hotline lawyer, and every question ever written to her is now archived on their site. So you can go through and search questions and look out.
There's some great videos and stuff to watch.
And then the videos, they probably put them on there too, but I go to YouTube and just follow Washington Realtors on YouTube, and everybody goes on YouTube.
All right. Okay, so while you were talking, I have looked up Steve Black. He's a top national speaker, and he does coaching too, so he'll probably teach some coaching program. He's going to teach the social media class and probably pitch a coaching program. But I figure having people on site and training, anything AI with social media is so important to learn right now. It's just like one of our top tools that we can use in our marketing, and it's free, right? So let's use it while it's free. It looks like he works specifically with Keller Williams offices, but then I did see a thing where he works Century 21, Donald Scott, and other brokerages too. Also, the next October calendar is going to be coming out, and it's packed with a lot of stuff. There's some stuff right at the beginning. So if you look in your emails and make sure you're checking in on the weekly email that I've been sending out, maybe it's not perfectly on time, but around Monday, you'll get a weekly email out with the events for the week with clickable links for all the Zooms and anything that's there. And Simon, my son, came in last week to the brokerage and worked on our YouTube channel. So he got all of our classes that we have recorded, uploaded onto our YouTube channel now. So I can also send out on the Facebook page, I'll put a link to that YouTube channel on there so you can click into it. It has all of our old sales rallies and anything like that. And then we'll try to get our sales rally uploaded within that week, before Friday is my goal.
YouTube channel is Williams North Sound.
Yeah, KW North Sound, YouTube channel, just search that.
Yeah.
Should come up, and there used to be no content, there was like 3 classes on there, like from 2 years ago. And now we've conditioned it, so we put some more stuff. So if anybody has any classes they'd like to put on the calendar, have recorded, or have any input on what they want to learn about, please come see us too, and we love the ideas. I just want to really quickly talk, because last sales rally I had, we talked about focus and attention, and where our focus and attention is. At the beginning of the sales rally, I passed these out. These are our GPS, our 1-3-5s, right? This one's a little bit more specific. This one's called a 1-3-5-5, because it's 5 strategies, and each one can break down into 5 more steps. And I just wanted to go over it really quick today, and talk about what it is and how to plan that, right? You want one?
Does everybody have one?
Well, we can pass them out. Here, here.
Thank you so much.
So the thing about business planning, any type of goal planning, anything like that, I think is, it's really interesting. It's challenging. Because when you think about forward vision, you have all these different options. There's so many different ways to go, right? So many different things to do. And when we think about our forward vision, our brains can only think about like 1, 2, or 3 years ahead. It's really hard to think further than that. It's easy to do it looking backwards. I can go, what did my life look like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? And when we look backwards, it's like, I'm right here, and we'll just make this, right?
There you go.
My favorite dot on the board. Me, right? And when I'm looking forward, I have different options, right? I don't know, do I want to go this way? What's my goal? And it's hard to get your brain right. But when you look backwards, it's like, oh, I can look backwards and go, okay, I woke up this morning, and before that, I, turned the lights off the brokerage last night, and like a few years before that, I joined KW, and a few years before that, I didn't know what to do, so I was teaching yoga, and a few years before that, I had my real estate license and let it go. And I can kind of look, but when you look backwards, it looks like a flat trajectory, like it's like a flat line, it's straight shot. You can see exactly what you did. Hindsight is 20/20, it's clear. But when you look forward, it's not clear. And like I was saying, you get to this part, it's about a 3-year mark. That's all our brain can do. 1, 2, 3 years. And a millionaire mindset, very successful business-driven leaders, they cast a vision way out here in the future, right? Way out here. Because even though each thing we think about in our business in the next 1, 2, 3 years, they're really similar projection paths. It might look a little bit different to do these things, but when you get out here, they're further apart. And this goal is way different than this one at a 3-year mark. When you get way out here, you got to cast this as a vision. I think I spelled that wrong. But anyway, the vision cast is a little bit more blurry, but you know what it is. Like, so I'm 47 years old, and I want to cast a vision when I'm 70, right? What does my life look like? Where do I live? What are my, thank you. Where do I live? What does my health picture look like, right? What does my financial picture look like? What are my kids doing? What car do I drive? And really get clear on this blurriness. And I know that's an oxymoron, but you have to have, it has to be a little bit blurry, because every line here is gonna project out to this vision. And then you work backwards. This is what the millionaires do. They work backwards. And they go, okay, if that's what my vision looks like when I'm 70, right? Then what does it look like when I'm 60? And what do I need, where do I need to be at when I'm 60 to hit when I'm 70? Am I gonna retire at 60? A lot of people use that term, so I'm just gonna say that for me. If I retire at 60, 60 is gonna lead to my 70. Maybe I need to break it down in 5-year visions, but I gotta keep climbing back to this, right? So now say here's Molly's 50-year mark, right? And then this is me at 47. So I'm painting a vision and casting a vision for myself, and that's what we do with the 135. If I want this, then what does this look like to get to this? And then what does this look like to get to this? And then what does this look like to get to this, right? So with the 135 is, what is one thing I can do this next year in 2024 that will directly lead to the path I want to get to when I'm 52 or in 5 years, right? 1, 3, 5. What's one thing on this GPS? You write one thing on your goal in 2024 that I can do, right, to lead me on my path to the next step. And then what are 3 priorities next year I can do to hit that goal? And then when you take those 3 priorities, what's your first priority? So say, I don't know. What's a goal? Give me a goal for
One
2024.
listing taken a week.
Okay, well, that's a very short term.
How about your goal is to cap?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So that's my one thing, right?
All right, so
And what
that
are
should be
3?
down here.
Right? What are 3 ways to do that? You know, give me 3 priorities.
Get a listing a week.
A listing a week.
Okay.
Don't want a listing appointment a week.
Actually, it would be like have 3 closed transactions, right?
These are the activities you can do.
I
That would be
would
good.
say 5, because some people are 500,000, let's say. Just thinking.
Yeah, this is a pretty goal, I think, pretty simple goal to try to hit for 2024 to cap. We're just doing 3 closed transactions, right? So in order to get 3 closed transactions, what are 1, 2, and 3 things that I can do for that, right?
Lead gen daily.
Daily. Right?
Go on appointments.
Okay. That would be, I'm gonna go from daily lead gen. Because from the 1, 2, 3, we're gonna have 5 things, 3, 4, 5. So this daily lead gen, well, how many appointments do you need to go on to get 3 closed transactions?
Well, I think daily lead gen would be, what are the 5 lead gen things? Am I
Yeah,
gonna make
like-
phone calls? Am I gonna
Okay,
call
you can- or
expired?
you can
Call
call-
on
Are
my
you gonna call
sphere?
text?
Yeah.
Thank
Is
you.
it voice to voice, is it text to text?
Yep,
Going on.
So
a
Kelly's
call
saying-
list,
yeah,
door knocking,
call 20 of your sphere,
Sphere.
but yeah, or I don't know.
open house.
And I think you have to be more specific too, right?
So yeah, so
Like
this is
free open
the
houses
beautiful
and-
thing
Home
about
list,
the
like-
1355 is because it gives you one thing and then 3 things you can do. Each thing breaks down to 5 things, and then this breaks down to 5 things, right? Right, so door knocking, maybe this would be better to be like canvassing, right?
Well, if you're gonna do an open house, that's part of door knocking, open house, running open house.
Right? So canvassing is just, you're canvassing an area, right?
Sure.
You're door knocking, your flyers,
That's just
mailing,
farming or whatever.
golden letter, whatever. There's just so many different things that you can do that are lead gen specific, right? What's another thing you can do? Yeah, maybe plug in, right?
Come to work every day.
Yeah,
Show up at a certain time every day, that's probably a more important way to put it.
yeah, be
Be
systematic.
sitting at your desk by 9 or 10 in the morning.
So yeah, you plug in, it would be maybe plugging into the brokerage, maybe do a social media class, right? Maybe you go to a networking event. My point is that you're breaking down these big rocks into smaller rocks, into smaller rocks, into smaller rocks. And when you get down in here, now you have one thing you're gonna do that leads you to your next 5-year vision, right? And then you have 3 things that you can do this year that was gonna get you to this thing, right? Because these things lead you to this. And then each one of these breaks down into 5 more things and 5 more things, and then they're not so scary things, right? Right, I'm gonna call, you can even even break it down, daily lead gen and call list, and then you can write down, I'm calling these 5 people.
Yeah.
These 5 people are gonna move me forward to get to my cap.
This letter of the alphabet on Monday, this letter of the alphabet on
Yeah, what do
Wednesday.
you call that? That's a,
I call my call cadence and I have already.
I love that one, and it makes it so simple. That's a from
The text, yeah, but, and then text this letter of the alphabet, that letter of the alphabet, Tuesday, and then
Yeah.
social media,
So
Thursday.
this is just a good rough outline of what your business plan for 2024 can look like. It's a basis. You can start it like this, get ideas, you know, and then if you run out of ideas and you're like, God, I have no idea. I want to plug in, but I don't know what that means, or I want to do some marketing and I don't know what that means. I'm super excited because we just got Jason Abrams' Millionaire Real Estate Playbook. It's over 100 systems to move you forwards from idea to action, and they're all one-pagers. So if you want something like lead gen, right? Here's Holt Homes Group Lead Generation Playbook. To find your lead gen options, do a neighborhood blitz, do a 2-minute drill, do a Hail Mary, and do an audible. And then it breaks it all down. Neighborhood blitz is open house, sign writer Friday, door knock, reach out to 50 contacts, TCPA compliant, please. Share open house personal Facebook page 2 days before, and position flag or balloons directional in the morning of the open house. And these are things we kind of already know, but it's systematized. So if you just follow this system, right, it's one thing you can do. So if you don't have any ideas, then come to me and we'll do, you know, 20, 25 ideas out of this book, out of 100. There's got to be something in there for everything, right? That smells really good. It's got that new book smell. Yeah, it does. It smells like printed money. Yeah, because what did Diana Kokoska say? She said, those people out there have your money in their pockets, right? We gotta go get it. Right? It's really important. And then the whole thing about the GPS is it's just gonna lead us from where we're at to our vision, right? So every year when we put out a GPS, it's gonna look a little bit different for a solo agent versus a team. A GPS for a solo agent is gonna be all things on here that you are doing yourself, right? These are all broken down in 15 ways, strategies that I can do myself. However, if you have a team, you have maybe a combined GPS for your team, or maybe you have a team with a lender, or you have a team with title, or you know, who is your team if you're a solo agent, right? And include them in your GPS, because then you can break down from the GPS. There's another thing called a 411, and the 411 is focus on your priorities that are leading you to these things, right? It's a breakdown. So like Kim and I have a GPS for the market center that we created last year, and then from the GPS, because we're on a team, we each have 411s that are our priorities that lead us to that next thing, that are going to lead us to that next big rock and keep us on our projected path. Very important to know the difference between a GPS and a 411. Very integral for your business to be able to take these big rocks and break them down into bite-sized pieces. So it's not like feeling like you have to climb Mount Everest. You're just going to the next base camp, right? So I'm super excited. If anybody wants to sit down with me for 15, 20 minutes and like go over this, like fill it out, and then we'll look over and see things we can add. I'm 100% here to help anybody get one more deal, 2 more deals before the end of the year, and then really build out everything we're doing right now is what's going to get us going right in the first quarter. So all of our traction that we need to get right now for 2024 starts today. And these tools like this is the difference between trying to light the fire with a Flintstone or a blowtorch. You know, you choose, you pick it up, which tool, whatever tool you want, I'll help you do it. If you want the blowtorch, let's do it, right? It's out there for you. I'm excited. 2024 is gonna be fun. We got this. What do you think, Kim?
We got this.
Yeah, we do. We do. Hoist the skull and mustache. Okay.
One of the, hold on real quick, one of the things that, I do wanna do this year again is vision boards, like we did last year.
Mhm.
And, super interesting how much I've achieved on the vision board. I'm very sitting there as I walk out the door.
Yeah. Do you have a black car on there?
I know.
She just said that last week and then it happened, she just put it in the universe last week.
Yeah, that's powerful.
That's what we're doing.
That's really
Yeah,
powerful.
well, but but I listened to, and I listened to just like a brief summary of the 4 disciplines of execution. It's really, oh my gosh, if we could just focus on our lead measures and our late measures, which is probably not.
4 disciplines.
Of execution. You know, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between lead and lag, but a lead is, your standard operating procedures is your lead measure. That's what I'm teaching tomorrow. And those are lead measures to get your referrals later, which is the lag measure.
Yeah.
So it's just focus on the lead measures, which is daily lead generation, going to the classes. That'll all lead to when you're 70 plus.
Yeah. I just, of course, erase the ages because that's just mine. That's how I broke it down for me.
That's okay. I'm not offended.
Everybody break it down. You know? This is a 5-year.
I get it.
This is a 10-year. And this is a 20-year.
Yeah, I'm dead by 20 years. That's okay.
Maybe not. I mean, go to the social media class tomorrow about AI. We're gonna freeze your brain. I need it. She's been to like every bold class, every Tom Ferry, every Mike Ferry, Ivy's been to like all these
I signed up
amazing
for Tom
classes.
Ferry coaching. So I'll be doing one-on-one coaching with Colleen. And I'm very excited about it as my goal has changed a bit. I'm not gonna die in 20 years. So
Just decide that.
Yeah, like, change.
She's got her bag system.
Taking it back from the universe.
yeah, well, a lot of what they teach though is the AI, like this guy tomorrow's doing that. And they teach a lot about how to get AI to work for us. I'm super excited about learning all that and staying up on technology because if you're not with something, if you're not staying in touch, you're moving backwards, right?
Yeah.
Because nothing stays in one place.
No,
Now,
yeah.
never. Time moves forward whether you do or not.
Work smart, not hard. We only have so much time to fit into one day. I was just telling Alan this last night. You may have had a race voice. You only have so much time you can fit into one compartment of a day. And if you can find things that allow you that time back, it's like oxygen. It's like an oxygen mask. Like get it back in there. So if AI can save me 20 minutes of a rabbit hole of trying to figure out what to say in this Milford email I'm gonna send out to my whole sphere. I want to send an email out to my whole sphere to try to get 3 appointments. Just 3, right? Out of how many are in my sphere? 500 people. So I want to send an email out that's not a book long. I just want 2 sentences that causes FOMO and they want to meet with me, right?
I have one. We have one.
Right, we have lots. Look,
No,
Kara
you
has
want-
a ton. If you
Kara,
ever
you
want
wanna
anything
share
on
it?
social media, reach out to Kara.
Okay.
Oh.
No, we actually have one.
Is it AI generated?
No.
No, it's so succinct and obvious, you guys will go.
If anybody doesn't know what a MOFR is, it's a make offer for immediate response, right? So
Yeah.
writing an email for an immediate response. I want to write an email to my sphere to get an immediate 3 appointment.
So we're
I
having
have
a
2. Are you ready?
Yep.
So the first one is the subject line, I have an offer, an offer you can't refuse. That's it.
Don't say I have.
No, just
Okay.
an offer.
Yeah.
If a buyer offered you more than 15% above your zestimate, would you sell?
Oh.
That's it.
End of email.
What?
End of email.
That's it.
Okay.
Yep. The second one is, sorry, they're kind of blurry. Name your price is the subject line.
What is it?
Name your price.
Name.
Name your price.
Hi, Jimmy.
Could you finish this sentence for me?
I can't see all that.
Hi, Jimmy.
Could you finish this sentence for me?
It's in italics.
Oh, you were at the event, that's why, I'm like, what are we, I'm melding here.
If I could set my house,
Sell.
sorry.
On fire.
If I could sell my house for blank, and it's actually a blank, like on the email.
Yep.
I would list my home this fall. I can't wait to hear your
Or
answer.
this winter or this spring or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear the answer to that question.
I can't wait to hear your answer. Bless you.
So you probably get, oh, for $1 million, well, let me take a look, you never know. And you don't ever know.
Here's the halfway there.
What was the email, thing for this one?
An offer you can't refuse.
The second one?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was an offer for you,
An offer for you?
right?
We already
No,
said an
that
offer
was
you
the
Oh,
can't
no,
refuse.
I was wrong. Gosh, you're ruining your sweater. An offer you can't refuse.
You just wipe that off of your sweater.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope it comes out.
It'll look like a leopard, if you do that, it'll look like a leopard. Oh, wait.
I always thought it's a normal number.
They don't know me very well,
The advice was don't send this to all your spirit ones, send to 5 people at a time, because your phone will ring off the hook, and it'll be overwhelming.
Yeah, well, it could.
You tried it
So,
Yeah.
but having a mofer is something that we can add into our 135. It's just super important. Okay, how are we on time? Are we ready?
We have 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay, red two first, or back, or up.
You have to make a choice. I can't decide because I didn't cast a vision for it. I just want to
So
sound like.
duck, then red shoe, then cat.
Okay, duck. Quack, quack.
I'll do the chicken and
It's okay. Quarterly duck. Quarterly duck. Dina! I'm not surprised.
Dina's gonna be excited.
There was like 30 of these in there.
She also was like 30 last time, right? She
She's
was
not here, so we're
Where is
gonna
she?
walk with
Must be present to win.
Well, we have a really great prize for her. We have a t-shirt, a book,
Manifest.
a journal, what is it? Motivational manifesto.
And the journal is built for this.
Built for this
And a
journal.
Kate bed.
And a pen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now, the red shoe.
Okay.
Asterix. You'll get your award and your prize later today because #workday.
We are the front desk at the moment, and your sign will go up on the parking spot at the end of the week, because that's the end of the quarter.
Yes.
And the end of the month.
Yes.
Okay.
Hang on, I have something to say.
First, I want to acknowledge that the NCAA may have tied for this, so I just wanted to say thank you.
Yay! Good job, Karen.
And then I can go to the person counting.
That's why I'm gonna give it to the winner. The winner is Ivy Joe.
Thank you guys, I'm so excited, I got a special.
Yeah, your new car. Your new car is the party Good job, Ivy. There was a lot of notes too about teaching classes and the built how and all that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's my red
She
shoe.
like dressed for the
I know.
picture here.
Blue and the red.
Yeah.
You know what? Chin up.
Okay.
Chin up.
No,
chin
don't
up.
chin.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys did that. That's really
Should we
sweet.
do who's here?
Let's start with who's here. And then, yeah, should we want input?
Is that you said?
Yeah, we are the champions.
Okay,
Let's do it. The first. Courtney McClaskey. And Kelly Nielsen. Thank you. Woo, culture committee for the win. And Janice Okay, so then we have Angie Hammer, Phil Fairbrug, Kobe Barnett, Todd Richmond, Ryan Tooney, Craig DeGurnis, Luke Evans, Luke Blankenship, Renee Wynn. Oh, Abby Joe. So nice, you guys. I know these. Rick Iverson, Susie Crawford, and Nikki Barnett. Not coming when to keep it down. So that's our Copper Awards for second and third quarter. This is cool. Yeah, second and third quarter. Yeah. Okay, so if you're counting April through August. Yes. And then September through the end of the year, we'll do at our next quarterly awards ceremony. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Does anybody have anything to quickly mastermind on for our last 15 minutes? What is everybody seeing out there?
We're all millionaires and they just haven't paid us yet.
I know.
I'm in their pocket still.
I'm a spiritual billionaire. I love the we're all millionaires, but we just haven't been. They have their checks in their pocket. Our checks in their pocket.
So I'm curious how you guys are doing with showings on listings. Anybody?
I only have one active listing and it has had zero showings.
I know.
It's a mobile in a park, so
How did your house go in Arlington?
It was good. We had 9 showings and 1 offer that we took right away.
Nice.
We should
what
have
price point?
1.15
Oh, that's pretty good.
on 5 acres in Arlington, but yeah, I was nervous about it.
How conservative do you feel like we're on the price beginning?
I think I was spot on. I mean, if we had gone any higher, I think it would have stopped.
Right, do you feel like you were low at all? Compared to, okay.
No, just the comps were right. Then we had a really good comp at 115, so it worked out. And then there was other comps at like 12 that sat for 30, 60 days. So yeah, if we had gone any higher, I think really my clients were.
I think it's the time to reduce though, because I think that people are just waiting.
I disagree.
It depends
What else
on
are you
how
gonna
much,
do? I mean,
Well-
you got, price sells everything.
except when you reduce it's still nothing.
Well, but then maybe it wasn't the right price to begin with anyway. So, I don't know, I mean, I got my 1 active and we reduced 5% last week because even though it was a stretch, they said, okay, we can do a little bit less, but if we do at least 5%, we can cancel and relist and get out there in front of everybody. As long as you go at least 5%. And if we think we're gonna have to go that eventually, do the chunk now. And then we sat over the weekend, got nothing, but then we got an offer, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll put out there, we got an offer today. But we had a showing this morning, it's 11, so I just, what else are you going to do? And the NAR says, and I tell this to every seller, the NAR says that if you are getting showings and no offers, you're at least 5% overpriced. If you're not getting showings in a reasonable amount of time, then you're at least 10% overpriced. And what I told my gal was, I'm shocked if we're 10% over, because we've been on a month with nothing. We got 1 showing like the first day, and then nothing.
What price point was it?
We were at 465
Where at?
in Fort Ludlow. So, and I got one going on in OMAC this week, so yeah, we're going everywhere. But what else are you gonna do? And you know, everything else is a hunch, especially because we don't usually have great comparables. You know, they're relevant properties, but they're not necessarily you know,
There's not
the
very
same
many
thing.
variables, yeah.
So you have, everything else is a hunch. That's the only statistical thing you can go on.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, that's my soapbox.
Statistical hunches, yes.
My house that you guys saw on the Cat Island tour, today we did a price drop for 45,000. So if you know anyone looking on Hat Island, we are the cheapest with a beach view.
I was like, now I'm gonna go jump in Molly's arms.
I was thinking a lot about Hat Island and how you said that only one of yourselves up there. And I think it's just because people aren't educated about Hat
People
Island.
don't understand
And what
Hat
we have to do as agencies, get them educated.
Well, since we went on that fantastic thing that you put on,
Thank
I have been talking a lot about Pat Island, so. I
It's
think
a
that
perfect place for like an extra house.
Oh, yeah.
And just if you have a boat, you know.
I can't count
They
my
do
husband,
allow Airbnb out there, VRBO, so.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
There's one out there right now.
Is
We
it
just price dropped to $695.
How do people get, like, when they're building a home, get the construction materials out there?
Barged in.
Yeah,
Barged in.
there's a barge. So you just have to make sure everything gets barged over at the same time. There's quite a few new construction homes out there that are, the whole house has literally been barged in. So
Like modular.
no modular homes are not allowed.
Not manufactured, but
No
like they
manufacturer.
like a
modular.
kick home.
They like took a 100-year-old home
Oh.
from the San Juan, barged it to Hat Island.
I've seen that done.
And so there's historic homes, they're just been moved on to the island.
There's a whole website for those.
Yeah,
You get them
that's
for
crazy.
really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbors at the Bulldoors down house is that way. They dug a huge basement and they brought a house in and set it on top. And it was like a whole, they barged it down,
I've
keep it down and
seen
then
it.
brought
on
it in a big
Facebook and
truck
stuff,
and
but
had to move the power lines out of the way. It's like
seeing it on
crazy.
the West Bar in Everett, you know, the old White House,
Yeah.
that thing's been moved like 3 times.
Yeah, they take a chainsaw. My
Those
mom had
old
her
houses, the old houses are built to structurally be moved. In fact, Courtney, we and I listed a house out and sold it out on the Swinomish tribe. It was on tribal land, but they built the house structurally to be able to be moved just in case.
Smart.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Interesting.
I have a question for anyone that's listened in the last week or two. Might be a weird question, but if you're getting numbers and stats and stuff, let's just say it's 600,000. Are you purposely listing it for a little bit less just because of interest rates, just that you get more flow of people in it all?
My team just listed a house $75,000 under where it should be selling.
I have 2 listings coming up and I have recommended that to myself, just because the data we have is spring and summer market and we're going into fall and winter and interest rates continue to increase, so it only makes sense to price on the lower side.
Right.
I'm looking at
If they wanna sell in a reasonable time.
I'm looking at info sparks a lot for days on market and how many showings per pending. What was pending, which is really helpful to tell the sellers, you're 1 away. You're just 1 away.
Bring up the excitement. Yeah, conversations I think is key, and especially in this market and what we're seeing, I think it's super important for everybody to just be on the high communication side. Like,
That was Amy's advice.
yeah, how often, Amy, you think we should be communicating?
When you're listing sitting, the agents that are gonna lose listings and get canceled listings are the agents that just freak out and quit communicating with their sellers and because they're nervous that there's no showings. Because we do not control when a buyer's gonna walk in the door. All we control is identifying the market and the data and then presenting that to our clients. So on a weekly basis, if your home is sitting, it's, hey, we've had this many showings or we've had no showings. I'm looking at the other listings. This is what other people's listings are doing. I've looked at recent actives, comps, solds. I've looked at, how much traffic we're getting online, and here's all the numbers, and either I have a recommendation for you this week or I don't.
And then they can choose to take your recommendation, but at least you're giving them the data and helping them get there, and they feel like you're staying on top of the
And you're not
market.
ignoring them.
And you're not ignoring them, and you're, you know,
If you look at that, so when
And
I
you
do
tell
this,
them,
you know,
I've done this, I've ran a, you know, paid Facebook ad, or I've put it out in these groups, or I've done, you know, but tell them what you're doing. I mean, if people, if they know you're looking at it and you're, you know, when the market slows like this, you have to overly communicate, or else you will lose listings.
Yeah, it's a friend check in.
Yeah, it's just a try.
I have mine on Mondays or Tuesdays, but anyway, I also look at the old market analysis I did for them to see what those houses that were the comps, what happened to them. You know, because you never know, like, they might have gone off the market or they might have reduced, well, we should be looking at that every day to see if they've reduced their prices.
I also set up, quite often, like if I get a listing, I'll set up a search for myself.
Yeah.
For new listing activity in that area, so that I get alerts, or I see, you know, a price reduction, or I see, you know, when something goes pending, or a new listing that might get a competition that just came on below us or whatever, and watch that neighbor, because they're watching, they're gonna tell you don't want them
They
telling you
know,
before.
they're gonna wanna know if you've been inside of it. And I, you know what, it's time for us, we have enough time now to go look at those too, preview. And, the other thing is, I've been doing my own open houses now, I'm sorry guys, I'm not giving away, I'm getting people from them, so there are buyers out there looking, they're looking for very specific things.
This September, yeah?
Different topic, but you guys went to the tiny home thing.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll be setting up again? Because I didn't really appreciate what that tour was till it was over. I didn't hear about it up front.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have gone and heard that, so like.
Yeah, I talked to Amanda Wolf, and she's gonna come to here and do her, tiny house breakdown, like how to do ADUs. They do,
Who's Amanda?
Amanda Wolf was the sales, rep at
Carriage
the
Homes.
Carriage Homes
Okay.
Northwest.
Yeah.
And then so they've done a lot of research and work already on what properties these can be put on, what areas are best and things like that. So she had a ton of information. Plus, she had, if you have a client or yourself that has a property and you don't know if you can put a tiny house on it or not, but the property's in your name, they'll come out and do a free site plan for you.
Actually,
So,
she does it from her office. The ones that you pay for, the ones that go out.
okay.
I thought, anyway, I could be wrong.
Thank you. Well, she'll do a free site plan for your client, which is awesome. And then if there's other parameters, like it's kind of a weird property or there's something like that, you can get a $1,000 feasibility study done where they draw everything out. And then the other thing, if the people don't own it, so like if you have clients that are looking at properties, and there's a couple properties, it's $75 for them to do the site plan to say this would work, yay or nay. Which is, I don't know, $75 and you would know. Yeah, if you could put an ADU on this place you're buying, I think it's pretty cool. So I was gonna have her come here and talk about that and then set up another broker tour. But then they have an event they're doing at Carriage Houses Northwest in October. They have an Eventbrite link for it. I think I posted it. I'll post it if not. But it's a tour you can send clients to or you can go to, or they're doing an open house tour again for like the community, which is kind of cool. So yeah, we have more of that.
It's so cool because they not only have them on wheels but they can also build them for you.
Yeah, they can stick build it on the site or do the RV ones on wheels. And yeah, she had so much information that it was really cool. So if there's any questions about that or that comes up in discussions, just connect your clients with them. They also do a agent referral, so they do 1% or up to $1,500 for a referral. So that's kind of nice too. Extra greenbacks in your pocket. It's always nice. What time is it? Oh, look, just on time, 3 minutes back. Have some snacks. I don't wanna have to eat all of them. Drink the Kool-Aid. We all want Okay, yeah. What are you talking?
Is it right color?
Chip Jones.
It's there. This isn't
Don't touch that.
Thank you.
Don't touch that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys. I'll I'll try to get this calendar out ASAP. I'm gonna have, Kaylee help me do it.
Is there,
Can you buy that playbook?
Yeah, they're $20 on the Red Store. Red Store?
We're gonna order more too.
I'm gonna
But
order more, but
they had, they had like a, Keller Williams had a certain amount printed first and they just were gone. So they are printing their next batch.
so wait, no, so this is by another, this is a team's playbook.
this is Millionaire Real Estate Agent Playbook that Jason Abrams put together. And it's, he said volume 1. So it's systems, models, action plans containing over 100 systems, models, and action plans. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent Playbook is your roadmap to real-time innovations in the real estate industry. Systems and tactics that fill these pages have risen to the top from hundreds of interviews that Gary Keller, Jason Abrams, Jay Papazan, and other industry experts performed over the last several years.
Love it.
So it just, going through, it's just really easy.
That could be just, if you don't wanna write a standard operating procedures manual, there it is.
Yeah, this is a really good, well, our standard operations, our SOP for KW is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, yeah. Or how to be a pilot.
I remember actually.
Yeah. So, but then this breaks it down, so this is
That's cool.
each thing, you know, it really breaks down, the business or oh my gosh, what are the models? The economic model, the budget model, the,
Love it.
leverage model, no, that's not right. Anyway, break it down.
I got you.
You wanna look at it?
I don't want to show you.
Give it a good sniff.
Thank you. I'm actually going to
Tonight.
even better.
There's a link to it on
Yeah,
interview.
let's
And
see some of that.
Arts Center, I think, which I don't remember that, so.
Have this one.
My friend from,
I had,
What?
I had a few friends that were
They wanted a list, beginning of September.
everywhere, like, we don't
I
have to
do
go to
have-
karaoke, it's just every time.
They wanna sell their house. $5,500,000.
Oh my gosh,
I said,
every time.
So funny.
Some money.
Well, have fun.
I love that, thank you,
My
yeah, I'm
mom-
excited for it. She's kind of too.
You know, they probably-
Honey, I know where I'm gonna see your apartment, look at everything.
work out.
I literally have my purple, I don't know, like.
Biggest things like we want X
Workout
amount of
clothes,
money out the house.
jackets, you name it, shoes, all
And
that.
you get that house, you still have that amount of it doesn't sell, it's a premium number.
Oh,
Okay, you
rain
get that
house
same
every
amount,
year,
but it
everything
doesn't
was,
sell for
every
800,000,
extra
so you spend that money.
Oh, I saw that on
Yes.
social media.
Yes, you, yeah, and so this was for like final numbers, like July. And then I was making my final tax.
I knew that.
Tribute, and then
Why did
so
you
that's
have
what we're doing.
to
This
do
year.
that? Oh, we're not back here, it's the house.
Yeah,
Plan,
that's on the next one.
development.
Yeah, because everybody's trying to do this year, so I'm like, you're done.
The more we work, right?
I'll let you know how it goes. I've never been to the Edmonds event, or nine. I don't even, yeah.
What's in it?
Maybe actually Edmonds, but I like.
Dr. Mouse.
What?
Put 'em on the-
It's not a festival, it's at the Arts Center, I think, the Edmonds Arts
Was it 5 acres?
Center. I'm going to a concert tonight, it's a tribute, I'm playing Prince tribute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the best, it's literally like, so I'll let you know how the.
It's also so cute.
Yeah.
You both have your pointy toes.
I know, there's always something we're doing. Yes, yesterday was the other day. Do you want me to carry some of these down for you guys?
If you want to, yeah.
Is it in town?
I don't know all of
Who's still recording me?